All right, Baker, what's up? Um, so when we spoke earlier, you said you recently had a conflict with one of your friends, right?
Yeah.
So can tell me briefly what the conflict was about? Like what happened?
So basically, what had happened was my friend got herself involved in an emotionally abusive relationship, and she wouldn't admit to herself what was happening. And so the conflict was or arose between us when I tried to like help her and help her realize like, hey, this dude is not good for you. Like she'd call me crying at night because like he would do something or say something to her and like just like this isn't healthy. You should remove yourself from the situation. She's like, oh, I'll give him another chance. It's like, all right. And so, but like every time I bring it up, she would be like, no, like what kind of friend are you? Not supporting me and like my relationships that I want to have. And so
Why did you think she acted that way?
that's what I'm saying. Like I guess like like saying like love is blind. Like she didn't want to believe that like this dude was being really shitty to her, and like she didn't want to accept the fact that like I was in the right to say, hey, this dude is literally like the definition of emotional abuse. So like that's where the problem came from. She was like she wouldn't talk to me or like wouldn't pick up my calls, even though like later that night she'd call me crying and saying this is what happened this night and be like repetitive, just like every week without fail. It'd be something else. So that really put a strain on our friendship. So
Okay. Well, what role did social media play in the cause, escalation, or resolution to the conflict?
nothing. Social media wasn't exactly involved because I didn't feel like it was necessarily necessary to get something like that involved because it's such like a very personal and like intimate kind of thing. Like most of the conflict was handled face to face or like over the phone. Saying this is what's going on and this is how we need to fix it.
So do you think being face to face was much better than her rather than her possibly reacting through social media instead?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is like I feel like it it never did, and it should have never gone to social media because of like the level of intimacy that like a face to face conversation can have. Like we can convey emotions more efficiently through that, and that's why I feel like I made a point to say, hey, let's meet somewhere and like talk this out, or do you need me to pick you up? Do you not feel safe? Like we can figure this out face to face, and it'll be a lot better for the situation.
Did the conflict continue over a period of time?
Yeah, it literally took months before she was like, yeah, you're right, and then like accepted what was like really happening to her. So yeah, it happened over the course of a couple months.
So why do you think? Why did you think it kept on continuing? Was it just the love was blind kind of thing?
That's what I'm saying is like she would not give up on him, and she was like, I'm just gonna give him another chance, another chance, another chance. And it's like,
Did either you or another person try to like break
yeah,
up the conflict?
literally everyone like in our like friendship like identified like what was happening, and this is actually the guy that she was in a relationship. This isn't the first person like in our friend group that this has happened to, and like it happened to another girl that he was in a relationship, and he did the exact same thing that he did to my friend, and we were like, look, this is what happened 6 months ago, and he was dating this girl. This is what's happening now to you. Here is this person who experienced this, and just telling you that this guy sucks. And she just would not have any of it for months.
Has the conflict been resolved to your satisfaction?
Um, yeah, I'm pretty happy with how. I mean, she eventually did break up with him. She doesn't talk to him anymore. Um, and yeah, I'm pretty satisfied with how everything.
Well, did you think did you resolve it, or did someone else resolve it, or did she resolve it herself?
She resolved it. Um, I had to step in and like physically like restrain this dude because he's insane. Like after this happened, and he was saying all sorts of crazy stuff, and I had to like, you know, rough him up a little bit. Like you're not gonna do any of this. Like it's over. Like you're done. So
Okay, cool. So you still had to step in. She kind of just. I mean,
No, yeah, she on her own, like, I'd personally been like, you know what, it had been months, you know, and I was like, you know what, if this is really how you feel, you're obviously not gonna give up on this. Do your own thing. And literally, like a week after I said that, she broke up with him. I was like, well, damn, I could have said this like however many months ago, and then yeah, he lost it, and like threatening to do stuff, and it's like, all right, buddy, time for you to not do that anymore.
if you could say anything you wanted to the other right now, what do you think you would say?
Like the guy or her?
Both. Why not both?
I told you so. Woo! Yeah, pretty much I told you so. And I would like an apology for all the really shitty things that she said to me over the course of the months. And no, I've pretty much said everything to the guy that I've needed to say, or that needed to have been said. So.
Well, would you ever say it over social media, some of the things? Or, I mean, if it came
Well,
down?
I mean, not really, because nobody else needs to get involved. Or everybody else that needed to get involved has been involved. And so, like, it's it doesn't need to be, like, a public.
So even if the conflict moved to social media for some whatever reason, especially by the girl and the boyfriend, you wouldn't have stepped in either way, too?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I probably wouldn't have, because I feel like going at it on social media would have never resolved anything and just gone in circles forever, and like we just wouldn't have gotten anywhere with it.
Is there anything else you would like to add to the conflict? You know, anything you wish you did differently, or maybe some other people did differently?
No, it was all handled fairly well. One of my friends kind of did take it a little too far. Like, they got in, like, a big fight. Like, that girl and another one of my friends, they both got in a fight. And it was like, y'all need to chill. This is, like, y'all are fighting over literally nothing. So it's like, Basically, they fought over the right for one girl to say, I told you so. And it was like, ugh.
Has this conflict, this is my own questions, has this conflict dictate how you go into certain situations now with other conflicts within people, like relationships, friendships?
I mean, yeah, I mean, it's been pretty eye-opening to, like recognize certain, like red flags of, like, bad relationships that are going on, just to, like, and, like, to realize that they're probably not going to listen to you immediately. Just kind of, like, be like, hey, I've noticed this is going on. Probably isn't the healthiest thing for either of y'all, so I might want to, like, talk about it.
Was there any misunderstandings within the conflict? Like, oops, sorry, like...
Yeah, there was actually one big one.
What was the big one?
So it was between the guy and her, and, like, she thought that he was, like, cheating on her, and we were all, like, 90% sure that he was cheating on her. But, like, and then we found out that we had proof. Like, one of the roommates was like, but actually a couple of his roommates were like, yeah, no, he definitely got with this other girl. And we were like, and then we had, like, text messages that he'd sent her, and, like, all sorts of stuff, and she would not listen to any of it. Like we had hard proof, and all it took for him, like, for her to, like forgive him was like, nah, I didn't do that. And then she was like, see, he's fine, even though we were like, but evidence.
And there was no stick for, although I knew her issue with the situation was a different stand over everyone else. Other than her, did anybody have a different stand of the conflict? Like, did anybody was like, just leave her alone, let her self-destruct, or maybe just be like...
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. Like after a while, like a lot of us were like, you know, if you're not gonna listen to us, like, just go do your own thing. Like, I mean, we can't. I mean, if you're not gonna listen to us, it's just a waste of our time. Like, I mean, not a waste of our time, but it's just like it's a futile conflict, you know. Like, we don't know what else. Like, we've said everything that we could have possibly said to, like, say, to, like, inform you of what is happening to you, but she just wouldn't accept it, so.
Well, a quick conclusion of this that I forgot to do in the beginning. This right here is Baker. He has agreed to assist me in completing this assignment for my interpersonal communication class. Thank you, Baker, for the interview. Yeah.